Welcome back to the SharePoint course. In this lesson, you will learn how to create SharePoint sites and we will discuss some basic navigation. To get started, go to m365.cloud.microsoft. This is the Microsoft 365 Copilot homepage. In the left-hand navigation menu, look for Apps. It is currently at the bottom of the navigation section. However, Microsoft has been making a lot of changes to the layout, so it may move over time. In the pane that opens when clicking Apps, SharePoint may already be pinned for you, but if it's not, go to the More Apps option and select SharePoint from the Apps section. This will take you to a homepage that shows all SharePoint sites you have access to. It's a quick way to find all of the SharePoint resources in one place without managing multiple bookmarks. New pages, news posts, and sites can be created from here. As mentioned in the course introduction video, many organizations place limits on who can create a new site, particularly communication sites. If the Create Site option is not on the top left side of the screen, it is most likely managed by your IT department. In this fake demonstration environment, I have all the required permissions, so I will click Create Site. A floating dialog box appears that has two options to create a team or communication site. A team site is used to help groups collaborate. All members and owners can co-author and publish content. A communication site is designed to broadcast information to a large group of people. Most people will be viewers with read-only access. The ability to manage and edit the files and pages is limited to a few people. Think of this as a way to push out information. To learn more about the differences, click the links at the top of the dialog box to go to the Microsoft support pages. I've also included the links in the video description just in case you don't have access to this dialog box. In this scenario, I will select Communication Site. On the next page, there are a few templates provided by Microsoft, including an option to start from a blank page. If your company uses templates with their branding colors and preferred layout, those templates can be found under From Your Organization. You can preview what is included with each option by selecting it. For example, click Department. This shows us that the site can be used to emphasize news and events, highlight department resources, and has a couple pre-built page templates. Click Preview to see what the home page, additional pages, and document library will look like. On the left side of the dialog box, select a thumbnail from the list to switch pages. For example, if you click on the leadership thumbnail and scroll down to view the whole page, you can see that it emphasizes photos with very little text. Click the back button twice in the bottom right corner of the dialog box to preview or select another option. Don't worry too much about selecting the wrong template because that can always be changed in the settings later if necessary. Based on the project I have in mind, the best fit is Organization Home. This template highlights news and conversations, showcases organizational resources, and comes with one home page and 3 additional pages. You can preview this template if you like. I already know that this is the right one for my project, so I will go to the bottom right corner of the dialog box and select Use Template. On the next page, we will give our site a unique name. Whatever is typed in the site name field will be added to the site address. There is also a site description box that is optional to help people understand the purpose of the site. When you've entered all of your information, click Next. The site language can be changed on this page. The default is English. Click the drop-down to see a list of supported languages. This site is for a fictional company in the United States, so I will leave the default. Click Create a Site in the bottom right corner of the dialog box. It usually takes a few minutes for the site and its assets to be created. In the meantime, let's go back to SharePoint Home and walk through creating a team site. Most of the process is the same, but there are a couple differences. Click Team Site. In this example, we will choose the IT Help Desk template. It has a couple of pages and also creates two lists, one to track devices and one to track tickets. Just like we did before, we'll go to the bottom right corner and select Use Template. Then fill in the site name and site description information and select Next. On this page of the dialog box, we have a slight difference. You can change the language, but now you also have the option to change the privacy settings. Click the Privacy Settings dropdown to see the options to create a private or public site. Using IT as an example, I would need to decide, is the team site intended to track information only used by the IT staff, or is it intended to share information with the people who submit the tickets? Choose the option that best fits your scenario. After clicking Create Site, you can start adding owners and members. It's a good idea to identify at least 2 owners for every site. When you're done adding owners or members, click Finish in the bottom right corner of the dialog box. When the site is set up, a Microsoft 365 group is automatically created in the background to support the site. However, it is important to know that despite the fact that these are called team sites, a Microsoft team is not created. However, because the group is created, you can always add a Microsoft team later if you decide it's necessary. If you know up front that you will need a Microsoft team to do things like manage communications, it's better to create the team first because that process automatically creates a SharePoint site in the background, thus reducing the steps required to connect your SharePoint site to your Microsoft team. Now let's go to the home page for the communication site that we created earlier and discuss some basic navigation. From here, you can start customizing the web pages or drill down to the site contents to manage the document library and other assets. Remember that in this scenario, I am acting as one of the site owners. If you do not see some of the options on your screen, it is most likely because you don't have owner or edit permissions. I would like to draw your attention to the New dropdown on the left side of the screen. This is one of the places to find options to create new lists, document libraries, pages, news posts, and add apps if that is enabled. Additionally, if you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, you may see the option to work with agents. On the right-hand side of the screen is where you will find the option to edit the page that you are currently on and some share options. Just above the Edit button in the header, you see Site Access. As a site owner, this is where you can manage SharePoint permissions. You can add other site owners and they can do anything with the site except those functions that may be limited to an administrator. Site members have limited control, meaning that they can only do things like viewing and editing site content. A site visitor has no control, meaning they have read-only access. Just above the header, there is a gear icon. Click it to open the settings pane. The options displayed will depend on your role. So for example, as the site owner, I have several options. A site visitor would only see 3 options. For now, I want to draw your attention to Site Contents. Clicking this option will open the SharePoint backend where you will find the default document library and other folders to manage SharePoint content and assets. On the top left side of the screen is another place where you will see the New drop-down to create lists, pages, document libraries, and, if enabled, add apps. Microsoft calls this an entry point. The toolbar on the right side of the screen is where you will find the recycle bin. You can recover items for up to 90 days. The next icon over is Site Settings. This is different from the settings found under the gear icon in the top right side of the screen. Selecting Site Settings takes you to a place where you will find administrator functions. The average user is not going to adjust these settings, and your company may restrict access to the SharePoint admin or global administrator. If you have permission to make changes here, be very careful because it's easy to break the site or cause problems. I'm not an admin, nor do I give admin advice, so we won't be covering most of the options. The only reason I'm showing you this is to add context to the different navigation elements. One of the few things that you might update is the title, description, and logo for the site under the look and feel category. In most cases, you will be concerned with managing document libraries, lists, events, and site permissions. For now, that's all we need to go over for basic navigation. In the next lesson, we're going to start discussing how to manage document libraries.